going to go live with you in a minute and do the wrap up of day 3 of Art of Goal Creation. As I was doing that, I just had a client message me, Jess, who says, just listening to the replay, and when Gina first came on, the song playing is called Jessica. I felt like it was a sign I need to be at one of these seminars. You definitely do, Jessica. Oh, there you are, and you're the one watching this. There you go. Literally, I just hit go live on this and I got your message pop up. So I think that is definitely a sign. There's 2 other stories of vibration that have happened in the last little bit. In fact, I was talking to someone at the end of Mick Peterson. You'll see a phenomenal book come out from him in due course, which is going to be huge. But I was talking to him and he was telling me about everything that's happened in his life. So he's been studying for 4.5 years, and he said, you know, Karen, you couldn't script it if you tried. When you really learn how to get into harmony with these laws and you really start to understand how to create the results that you want, the stuff's going to happen in your life that you couldn't plan it or script it if you tried. So I love seeing it play out like that. So it's very cool, Jess. All right, so we've got a few people watching there now. Hello, everyone watching live on this little video. So still here in Los Angeles for Bob's Art of Goal Creation seminar. It's been a phenomenal, what are we up to, day 3 tomorrow. So 2.5 days so far. I declined a dinner invitation tonight because I need to sit and process and do some work of my own. So I'm really looking forward to ordering room service when I get off this call and putting my feet up and going through my workbook and reflecting on a few bits and pieces that Bob's been talking about and teaching, and thinking about changes and improvements, what I'm going to be doing and how I'm going to be working with my clients and all sorts of things. So I'm going to take this little bit of opportunity tonight before I fly home tomorrow night to get really organized with my thoughts. So what I thought I would do today is just spend a little bit of time going through a few highlights from today and a few things that resonated with me in particular, or that I think might really benefit you watching this as a wrap-up video of day 3. And I think I'll start with, we started our day again with gratitude today, which is so powerful because it not only does it make you feel good, but it hooks you up to the infinite source of supply. So when you're in that truly grateful state where you really feel it in your heart, you're going to be on that highway to the good that you desire. The third activity in gratitude is to send love to 3 people that bother you. And Bob was sharing, let me just find my notes on this. Actually, it wasn't in that activity. It was during a private Q&A luncheon, and he was talking about Michael Beckworth. Some of you might have studied a bit of Michael Beckworth stuff. But Michael's worked very closely with Bob, or been a student of Bob's as well. And he remembers Michael saying at some stage, in terms of the people around you, and there's no doubt that some people might have done wrong by you or hurt you in the past, or that you might have experienced circumstances that are not what you really want. And he remembers Michael saying 3 things. It is what it is. It either controls you or you control it. Number 2, harvest the good. And number 3, forgive the rest. So I'm going to go through those again. So if something's going on around you right now, a circumstance, or you're thinking about someone that's, done something to you, or whatever it is that's not to your liking, it is what it is. Accept it. It's either going to control you or you're going to control it. Harvest the good and forgive all the rest. Isn't that beautiful? 3 simple little ways of living in terms of when things are not going so good for you. The next thing that I want to touch on is really just reminding you that you can have anything you really want. anything that your heart desires. You know, you're limited so much right now by your paradigm, by your habitual way of operating, and because you're living through your sensory factors: sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. So you're letting whatever's going on outside of you control and influence you. And what you have to do is start to really live through your mental faculties. And you can know that, but you've got to really practice doing it and really exercising your imagination. And to believe, you have to make believe. This was a phrase that we were working with today. To believe, you have to make believe. So what does that actually mean? If you want to believe at a cellular level that you are capable and worthy and completely in harmony with the good that you desire, you have to make believe. You have to go there in your imagination. You have to create the circumstances around you that you want. You have to think and act like the person you want to become. And one of Bob's favorite songs, and Nicole, if you're watching, you might be able to post it in the group for us. If you haven't already, you might have. But Pretend by Nat King Cole. You know, pretend you're happy when you're sad. It's not an easy thing to do. And, you know, that's exactly what you have to do. You have to pretend. You have to use your mental faculties and go there in your imagination. And that will, after a reasonable period of time of repetition, you will believe it. That's lesson 8 of Thinking into Results, the power of praxis. You've got to move the belief from the conscious mind to the subconscious mind. The imagination, your mental faculties, function through the conscious mind. So what we're doing with the study of this material is moving that picture and that idea from our conscious mind, and we're building belief at a cellular level, in a subconscious level, that puts us in the vibration that we need to be in, and it puts us in harmony with the good that we desire. So whatever it is that you really want, you know, jot these ideas down as they come to you. And for the last 2.5 days, that's all we've been doing, is just, you think about the idea, you jot it down. You think, you're not at this stage even having to commit to which one you're going to choose. For those of you that have been working with me for a while, though, you probably already have a very clearly defined C-type goal. You know, really get some more detail in it and fuse with it. Drench it with desire. Desire is the valve that releases the energy. You know, when you move that and you really fuse with the feeling of it, and you allow yourself to get emotionally involved, then that is you feel desire, and that's the triggering mechanism to release that energy. So, you know, if you've already very clear on what it is that you want, you've got your C-type goal from already having worked with me, then you work at this level on it. Keep working on that picture. If another right thing, particularly for any of my clients that are watching this, when we talk about the date that goes on your C-type goal, you've got to remember we've got that law of gestation. So everything has an incubation period, and the date is just a guess. A couple of questions, and you will have heard me teach about or talk about these questions, but Bob brought them up again today, that if the date comes and goes, you want to ask yourself 2 questions. Did I really give it everything I've got? And did I expect it to happen? Now, if you did give it everything you've got, did you expect it to happen? Regardless of your answer, whether you didn't give it everything you've got and you didn't expect it to happen, or you did give it everything you've got and you expected it to happen and the date didn't happen by the date that you wanted it to, you just change the date. You don't get emotionally involved with the fact that it hasn't happened by the time that you thought it would. You just change the date and you course correct and you keep working at it. Everything has an incubation period. The date is just a guess. No one has ever planted this seed in the garden of universal mind until you came along. Remember what I said on the first video, that the art of goal creation is truly a creative process. The definition of creation is the manipulation of energy. You're causing one type of energy to move into another type of energy. And this energy may never have moved in that direction before until you came along. You are an essential part of the universal process. And so the second that you've created that idea, thoughts or energy, and you're holding this picture in your mind, it is a guess how long it is going to take you to work in harmony with the universal laws to bring about the physical manifestation of that. So if the date comes and goes, just reset the date. All right. Just Bob said here, just give yourself an extension of time. All right, talk a little bit about frequency here. you know, that we all have energy with us, and we all carry energy in our body, and there is energy moving to and through our body, and we can measure the color and density of the energy leaving the human body. And so we exist in frequencies, and the good that you desire exists in a frequency beyond the one that you're presently living in. Otherwise, you would already have it. There are an infinite level of frequencies, and every frequency is hooked up to the next. So the second you get the picture in your mind, you already have it spiritually and intellectually. So you're already there, you're already fused with it. If you just permit your thoughts to go to that picture, you're in the vibration of the goal, you're in the frequency. Now, what you have to do is you have to get on the frequency and stay on the frequency that is, you have to stay on the frequency that the goal is going to manifest on. And that's where most people fall down, because they're in and out, they're in and out, they're in and out. They can see it, they're emotionally involved with it for 5 minutes or a day or a week or a month, and then they let it go because the paradigm kicks in. So what you want, you can have, but you've got to be willing to be in the frequency of your goal and stay there for long enough to allow it to manifest. And that's where the coaching and mentoring programs comes in. That's where thinking into results comes in. That's where the new lead the field coaching comes in for me. That's where surrounding yourself with like-minded people comes into play, to create the environment and support you to hold yourself, to learn how to understand how to hold yourself in the frequency that your goal is going to manifest on, and get you into harmony with it. And you're going to learn how to do that. And you're going to become more effective and clever at doing that, more effective and productive at doing that, the more you stay in the habit of studying on a day-to-day basis, of learning these tools and techniques, of visualization, of understanding your mind, of working with your mental faculties. So whatever lesson you're working on at the moment, it's there to support you in getting into the vibration that your goal is going to manifest on. And then the habit of it day to day supports you in staying there, despite what the paradigm is going to try to do to pull you away and keep you where you're at. Excuse me. So just go there in your mind, just totally relax, just really, really relax, and just permit your mind to go to the place of the good that you desire. That's getting onto the frequency of it. It's not a struggle. It's not hard to do. You just let yourself go there, and you permit yourself to build the picture of what you want, and to be there all throughout the day. When you wake up in the morning and you go at night, Gina, Bob's PA, said something really powerful today. You know, if you're struggling to stay committed or stay focused, you probably got the wrong goal. Like your goal should, you want to wake up and work towards it. It shouldn't be a, should I do this today or not? It's I really want this. And so I'm going to do everything within my power every day to bring about the physical manifestation of it. So really think about that. I thought that was a really interesting little point that she made. Another little point here, we were talking about an article on creation or disintegration. So we know based on the law of vibration that everything moves and nothing rests. And so if we're not in a growth creative state, we're actually in a disintegration state. We're going backwards. We'll feel it physically. So if we don't organize our mind and it's not on a picture of growth, we'll start to feel it physically in our body. We'll get tired, we'll get sick, we'll start to get a bit anxious, we'll start to lose our self-confidence, our self-esteem, and then slowly but surely we start to see that in our results. You know, our income goes down, the house is not so good, our health drops off. We actually start to see that disintegration show up in our results. So that's why it's really important that we are in this process of goal creation and goal achieving, and we're moving towards a picture of what we really want, what we desire. That's a fantasy, that's a dream, because we can start to work with that in the present tense to bring about this creation state. So anyway, we were studying an article on that. I just want to share two parts to it that were really powerful. And he's talking about being a dissatisfaction. In fact, you want to get really dissatisfied with your life, because dissatisfaction is a creative state. It doesn't mean you're not grateful for what you have and what you're experiencing, because everything that is around you or that has happened has brought you and prepared you for where you are now and where you're going to go in the future. So we want to be completely grateful for all of that. We don't want to get emotionally involved in the negative or the things that are not so good, but we want to be very dissatisfied with our results, because that dissatisfaction creates a creative state for us to really grow and discover more of who we really are. So on that note, I'll share this little bit for you. Begin to think of how you are living, what you are doing relative to what you are capable of with the potential you possess. Keep thinking this way, and you can be sure dissatisfaction will set in, if not already. If you spent any time really thinking about that in terms of how you're presently living, with what you know, what you're aware of in terms of what you can do based on your current level of awareness, but if you really get into this and you really start to study this and you start to understand that there is infinite potential within you, there is unlimited power, there is a source energy flowing to and through you that'll move into any form that you direct it. The more time you spend thinking about that, the more dissatisfied hopefully you get. And I know I'm saying those pretty strong words, but it's very true. The more dissatisfied you are with your present results, the greater the quantum leap and the more improvements you will make in your life. But remember what I said, that doesn't mean you're not grateful. It's two very completely different things. One more part to this before I wrap up today's call. There's so much that I could go through with you today. It's been absolutely phenomenal. In fact, I think if you get onto it right now, you've probably got a few hours, and if you haven't got access to the live stream yet, I'm sure that you can still buy it. We'll comment the link on this thread, and you'll at least be able to access the last day and or the 14-day replay. So at the end of this, if you don't have the live stream access, you are not going to be able to access the replay. You cannot access and buy the replay once this is finished. And I'm pretty sure on day 3 they cut it off. So we're at the end of day 2 now. You want to get into this. If you haven't purchased your live stream access, then make sure you get it now so that you'll be able to access that 14-day replay. So one last thing here, and this is to really sum up the whole day, and what we've really looked at is we must clearly stamp in our mind that all things are possible. We must never permit individuals in positions of power to convince us otherwise. There are all sorts of people around you that are ready and willing to talk you out of your greatest dreams and your biggest goals. I said last night when I was on the panel session, if you go looking to somebody else, someone who you know and respect, maybe even your partner or someone around you, for support or guidance or agreement around your goal or dream or the decisions that you want to make, the investments or the actions that you take, you might not get it. You might not get it. And if you don't get it and you permit their paradigms, their limitations to dictate the course of your life, you are not really living who you really are and your own life. So we do not want to let we do not want to permit individuals in positions of power or any circumstances around us to stop us from really tapping into the true potential and following your dreams. They are within you, your goals, what you really want is in your heart. If you have not been able to see that, that is because of the paradigm. That is because of that conditioned habitual way that has shriveled down your self-image to a point where you are so limited in how you think you can create the world around you and what is enough for you. It is never enough. I never want to get to a point where I think this is as good as it gets. And I won't ever get to that point because I'm such a serious student of this material. And if you're a client of mine, I'm never going to let you get to that point where you feel satisfied. Grateful, yes, but not satisfied, because there is infinite potential within you. So no matter how good it is for you right now, no matter how much success or better results you have created, I promise you, it can always get better. Remember, your goal is not a destination. It is the growth that we experience moving towards and manifesting the good that we desire. So I really want you to remember that you have to create your life that is what you want for the benefit of yourself and the people around you. And now let me just remind you this, that if you're married or you have a family or you have a partner, there might be part of your paradigm right now that says that, by you following your greatest dreams and your biggest goals, that somehow your family are going to lose out. That is crap. That is not true at all. Your family are going to benefit so much by you pursuing and creating and manifesting the good that you desire. You know why? Because they're getting more of you. They're getting a happier, healthier, more calm, productive, and enriched human being to be around every second day, every single day. So want to remember that. Don't let anything around you stop you or hold you back. You follow that quiet voice within, and you understand that there is a power flowing to and through you that will take and create anything that you truly desire. And the people around you right now, if you're not in an environment, if you don't have a group of people around you that are thinking like this and creating like this, that you might come up against some steep resistance or competition around this. You just have to power right through that, because very soon, in a relatively short period of time, they will get a hold of this and they'll see the truth in it too, that they also have infinite potential and they also can set and achieve goals, anything that they really want. And by you pursuing those goals and dreams, you give permission to everyone around you too to set about the accomplishment of what they really want to. So remember that. I think that's it from me today, folks. I'm going to order some room service, put my feet up, go through my notes from today and really relax and let it all sink in, and make sure that when I get off that plane back in Australia, I am ready to hit the ground running. If you're ready to start working with me, I'd love to work with you. If you're serious, if you want to make big results, real results happen in your life, then get in touch, enroll in my coaching program, and I can't wait to work with you and show you just how good it is. If you're an existing client of mine, if you've done Thinking into Results, but you haven't done the new Lead the Field coaching yet, you have to do it. It is phenomenal. It is like this amazing intensive that is going to springboard your self-image to a whole new level. It is going to bring the laws of the universe right to the surface, and you have a phenomenal platform, phenomenal foundation with your Thinking into Results coaching to absolutely take your results to the next level. So I want to see you in that. Make a decision and get involved in our new Lead the Field coaching program straight away. So on that note, have a wonderful night, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. And I'm going to see you tomorrow for day 4. Bye.